Welcome back to the Broke Digger Gaming. After an absolutely monstrous 2023 with more amazing games than I can count on my fingers and toes, we are now in 2024. January usually is a quiet time for games releases, or at least major ones, and this has been the case this January, although there are and have still been games coming out this month. One of my personal favourites on the wish list is on PC, and it's, wouldn't you know it, another open world action RPG with building and what look like survival mechanics. This game is called Enshrouded. It goes into early access on, I think, the 27th of January, so right at the end of the month. For people who loved Valheim and the like, this is something you should definitely Google and possibly wishlist for future interest, because it's looking like it might be a pretty good open world game with the same sort of mechanics as Valheim. In February, the big hitters of the year start, then continues on to March. Here I have compiled a list of what I think are the biggest titles for both February and March 2024, which are either AAA games or are expected to make a major splash. So let's have a look. The games are shown purely in order of dates of release, and of course we will be starting in early February. So with all that said, let's begin with next up is Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. This is an upcoming action shooter game developed by Rocksteady Studios and published by Warner Brothers Games. It is essentially a sequel to Batman Arkham Knight from 2015. Based on the DC Comics team Suicide Squad, the game follows four supervillains: Captain Boomerang, Deadshot, Harley Quinn, and King Shark, who are assembled by Amanda Waller and sent to Metropolis to stop the alien invader Brainiac and kill the members of the Justice League brainwashed by him. This game is essentially an open world design which allows players either individually or cooperatively to freely roam Metropolis. I have seen quite a bit of hate in regards to this game. Very presumptively, IGN has just released a preview where they absolutely wail on the game. I've got to tell you that I was in the closed beta at the end of 2023, and this game absolutely surprised me. I played it on PlayStation 5. I played it for several hours. Not only did I love the traversal is fantastic, but also the incredibly intense combat. The traversal, and actually the dialogue, as far as I could see, really brought the game alive, and I was actually extremely surprised about how well this game showed itself in the closed beta on PlayStation 5. So I will be picking this up regardless of the reviews, because I really enjoyed it, and since I played it on PlayStation 5, I'll be getting the game on PlayStation 5 because the performance of the game was flawless, not a skipped frame, which is quite surprising as well. So I'm definitely looking forward to this one. As a massive co-op DLC and shooter fan, I am incredibly excited for this next game. It's also a rarity for it to be exclusive to PlayStation 5 and PC as a FPS multiplayer game, and that is Helldivers 2. Join forces with up to 3 friends to wreak havoc on an alien scourge to defend your home planet. I'm a massive multiplayer co-op shooter fan, and I am hoping that this game from Arrowhead Game Studios lives up to the hype. I will probably be getting this game on PC just to see the game at its best. The game releases on February the 8th and will be available for pre-order on Steam and PlayStation 5. I wouldn't be surprised though that this is a timed release and eventually it will show up on Xbox. Very keen for this game, and all fans of co-op shooters should be as well. On to the next. Next up is Banishers Ghosts of New Eden. This action RPG is set in 1695 in New Eden during the colonization of the United States. The two protagonists are lovers and banishers, that is, ghost hunters who vowed to protect the living from the threat of lingering ghosts and specters. Following a disastrous last mission, Antia, the protagonist's wife, is fatally wounded, becoming one of the spirits she loathes. In the haunted wilds of New America, the couple separately and desperately search for a way to liberate Antia from her new plight. Immerse yourself in a beautiful, intimate and powerful story between two lovers as Banishers enter the lives of New Eden's communities and solve haunting cases in a mystical, lore-rich world. This world is plagued with supernatural creatures and ancient secrets. The game looks actually very interesting. It is from a third-person perspective action RPG of the type of, say, Remnant 2. What I have seen of it, it looks like it's lore-rich, story-driven, with very similar mechanics to your Soulsborne action RPGs, but whether it'll come with such punishing difficulty or not, I don't know. I suspect that it won't. This came under the radar for me. I did not hear about this at all until I started perusing the games that are available in the next 2 months, and this stood out to me among really some of the bigger hitters in February and March. So I am definitely looking forward to seeing the reviews of this game, because if it's as good as I'm hoping it is, it's going to take up a chunk of January from other games that are coming out. Next up is Skull and Bones, a very long awaited game that has been in development hell, similar to Dead Island 2 or Dead Island from last year, which turned out to be actually one of the better games of 2023. This game puts you into the world of a nobody on a ship to become essentially a fearsome pilot. From what I am aware, the game is mostly a multiplayer game. There have been several beta tests of this game last year, and I have heard both sets of reactions. Some not too happy with the game, others saying that it's actually not too bad and that they will be picking it up. This, if you don't know, is essentially what used to be more than a decade ago a DLC for Assassin's Creed Black Flag. As you can see, the combat in this game is essentially copy-pasted from Black Flag. Black Flag continues to be one of my favorite Assassin's Creed of all time, and one of the best things about it was the amazing ship combat, and as you can see that it's essentially cut and pasted from the original game, which is a good thing. What's not good is that Ubisoft has got its hands on it and that it will mostly be multiplayer. Now, I am open to this game. I'd prefer it if it was good, but anything's possible. If Dead Island 2 can turn out to be excellent, bugless, and play extremely smoothly as it did on my PlayStation 5, then I can wait out to see the reviews for this game. On to the next one. Next up is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. There is probably very little that I can tell you that you already don't know about this game, and it should be on your radar already, especially as a RPG fan, which I am. This game is highly anticipated. It's a new story in the Final Fantasy VII Remake project. It's a reimagining of the iconic original game from 25 plus years ago. The story continues with Cloud and his comrades escaping the city of Midgar in pursuit of the fallen hero Sephiroth. As they travel across the world, they find themselves on a journey that will decide the fate of the planet. Obviously, this is pretty high on my list, and having loved the first part of the game, I am expecting nothing less but an absolute knockout blockbuster of an RPG game here. What else is there to say about this? On to the next. Next one is Alone in the Dark, or rather a remake of the original Alone in the Dark. It is developed by Pisces Interactive. It's an RPG, and it is a reimagining of the original 1992 video game in a similar style to the Resident Evil remake. The game will feature a single-player narrative set in the 1920s, where the players can choose to play as Edward Carnby or Emily Hardwood as they make their way through the Chateau Mansion to uncover the mysteries within. Obviously a horror RPG game. I played the very limited demo of this game on Series X. Would have been September, August of last year. It honestly did not impress me, but there was literally nothing to do and very little to show of the game. The demo was basically over in less than 5 minutes, so it didn't really show too much of itself. I'm getting the collector's edition of this game, so I'm hoping the devs follow through with the remake and reimagining from the original game and bring it into the reality of 2024. Hopefully it'll be one of the better RPGs of the year. On to the next one. Next up is Dragon's Dogma 2. This is a highly anticipated single-player, narrative-driven action RPG that challenges the players to choose their own experience, from the appearance of their risen, their vocation, their party, how to approach different situations and more. This appears to be a truly immersive world in the same vein of its predecessor. It is highly anticipated by the gaming crowd and especially the action RPG crowd. I originally did not play Dragon's Dogma, I just have not got around to it, but from what I have seen of this game, it looks very interesting, and I'm hoping that everything goes smoothly for this game and its release. Dragon's Dogma 2 is being developed in the Resident Evil or RE engine, which has powered such titles as the Resident Evil games from number 7 onwards, as well as Street Fighter 6 and more. It is looking quite amazing, and it is definitely one of the top tier AAA games for the next couple of months. Next up is Rise of Ronin. It is a PlayStation 5 and PC exclusive. It's a upcoming action role-playing video game developed by Team Ninja. It is very similar to Soulsborne games and of course the Neo games, which have been extremely popular in the action RPG Soulsborne crowd for many years. This game is due to come out on March 22nd. Rise of Ronin allows players to create a custom character. The combat features a wide array of weapons common during the Boshin War, such as katanas and various firearms. The game features story choices at key moments in the game, allowing players to side or fight against various NPC characters affecting the story. The game is set in late 19th century Japan during the Edo period. According to the devs, Rise of the Ronin is the most ambitious project Team Ninja has developed. Developing an open world title has been a particular challenge for Team Ninja, as they usually develop linear level based games up until now. I am definitely very interested in seeing this game. I am hoping it is not an absolute ass grinder like the Neo games, essentially so I can actually get into it, because most of those games I really don't have the time or tolerance for to play at those difficulty levels. It's just a personal preference. I admire their design. I wish I was better. I wish I could get good, but alas, there's so much time and only so many games you can play. So I'm hoping that this is not as savage as their previous games, and if it is, I'm going to try it anyway, because you would be silly not to if you like Team Ninja and if you like the Soulsborne games. So regardless of this is definitely up there for me as one of the games to check out in February and March. So that is the list, everyone. There are of course more games than that coming out during February and March, but this was my own personal list that I thought would be the biggest and the most interesting games. If you thought that I missed out a game here or there that should have been on the list, why not comment down below? And if you like this video, possibly share, like and subscribe to the channel. We are still growing as a new channel, and hopefully we'll see you back here for the next video. For now, the Rogue Digger. See you later.
Thanks for watching the video until the end. If you liked it, subscribe and leave me a comment